welcome along to Casey Fields. It is round 7 in the Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition, and an interesting game coming up here. It's the Casey Demons taking on the Western Bulldogs as we move our way through the season. A real opportunity for both of these teams as we take a look at the Swiss Wellness VFL women's ladder, and we can see that the Western Bulldogs sit at 1 and 4 and Casey 1 and 3. So a win here vital to kickstart the seasons for both of these teams. I'm Peter Mercado alongside Brendan Rhodes for the call of this one. Welcome, Brendan, and plenty to like about these two lineups despite the fact that they haven't quite fired in season 2018 as yet.
Yeah, plenty of strength on AFLW listed players. Good afternoon to you, Peter, and everyone watching at home. The Bulldogs, obviously AFLW premiers. A lot of their top listed players have had a rest for most of the first half of the season. They're just starting to drift back into the team today. Ellie Blackburn, obviously a superstar player, and she's playing her first game for the season, as is Deanna Berry, who played for Melbourne, so she's playing against a lot of her AFLW teammates. But yeah, over the last couple of weeks, they've started drifting in. They had their first victory last week when they beat Williamstown quite comfortably at the Western Spurs home ground over there in Footscray. And the Demons, well, they had their first victory in their most recent game as well, also against Williamstown. But they've had 2 weeks off since then with a general bye and a bye. So it'll be interesting to see how they front up after having those couple of weeks off. It's their first home game for over a month. They haven't played at home since round 2. And
what a welcome they've got as well, because the weather
turned on for us, hasn't it,
the
Graham?
weather has turned on. It is wet and cold. It started off okay for the Peter Jackson VFL match, but unfortunately the weather did close in. We've had a couple of showers come across, and we've had this sort of misting rain throughout the afternoon, but it's gotten very overcast, and the lights have been on for basically 3/4 of the men's game, and will be on obviously as we move into the evening here for the women's game. So sides getting into position for this one, and we won't be too far away from a start, as we see there Rennie in the ruck for the Western Bulldogs, and well,
Taryn Ogle
will be in the ruck for Melbourne. So all is in readiness. The clock's ticked over to 4 o'clock here on VFL.com.au. Swiss Wellness VFL women's action. It's Casey and the Western Bulldogs.
And Ogle was beaten in the first tap there by Rennie. Quick kick out of the middle for the Bulldogs. Inside 50 it goes. Chance here front and centre for Berry, playing her first game of the season. Didn't have to take long to get a kick away. It'll bounce right next to the behind post and be rushed through for a behind by Harrison. So the first score took just 20 seconds for the Western Bulldogs, a rush behind on Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 7.
Gee, that ball pitched right next to the behind. I actually thought it had hit the behind post, but it had bounced back into play. A potentially dangerous situation. As we've got a free kick here. Will go the way of the Bulldogs, and it'll be taken by Sarah Jolly, who's 55 from goal, wants to get things moving. Will just put the ball in nicely. That's a good transfer of the footy. Lachlan takes the mark. Still on a tight angle, but not really looking to give the ball off. She'll be kicking from, will end up being 40 out. Good run up, flat looking kick. Oh, it's beaten everyone and gone through. No touch. Touch to the goal umpire in position there. Touch ball. 2 behind the Bulldogs. Casey yet to score. We've played 1 minute in the opening quarter.
Just a split-second theatrical delay from the goal umpire made us think that it was a goal. Ball back into play. Tried to go with the one hand. There did Lowison. Got a hand pass away, but that's going straight out of bounds on the full. Disappointing kick-off, one step for the Demons by Jordan Allen, and it's coming straight back in for the Western Bulldogs.
The interesting thing here, Brendan, a rarity. No breeze to speak of at all.
Bailey kicks inside 50 at the back. The Bulldogs with a chance, but it'll be walked over the line by Harrison. Yeah, the flag's hanging limp here at Casey Fields. They were blowing solidly across the ground during the Peter Jackson VFL game, but nothing to speak of right now.
Yeah, it's a rarity. You should enjoy this while it lasts, because I've been here and it's blown an absolute gale and the matches haven't been all that great. Here's a quick kick.
Lachlan.
Yeah, it was Lachlan again. And the ball just pinballing around. It goes through for another rush behind. They're under siege here, Casey. Not the homecoming that they really wanted, as Harrison's kick going wide finds the target, and they're just looking to build again here. The Demons as Smith going outside the 50. Ball off hands, brought down there. Bailey ridden into the turf. Handball out. Here's an opportunity. Scott going across the ground. Still in a dangerous position here for the Western Bulldogs, but no one can get clear. Trying to look for the drive-by is Jolly. Not able to find it. May get it now, though. Does get some clean space. Ball over the top of the pack, and again, another behind. Lachlan just allowing that one to go through. 4 behinds. Plays no score. We've played 3 minutes, primarily inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs in this opening term.
Completely dominant. They need some reward for this, and they might get it back as the kick-in has been knocked off by Gunn. Thrown out of the contest was Bailey, picked up by Rennie. Snap around the corner towards the goal square. Mark was dropped in the square there by Mifsud. Kicked 5 goals last week, Alyssa Mifsud. And the clearing ball for the Demons has been marked by the ruck in Orgle. Deep in the back pocket. She goes long to defensive 50. Contest brought the ball to ground. Hand pass out the back from Frankie. Kick was smothered off hands and back over the line. It's all Western Bulldogs early going. As we said, no win to speak of. The Demons and the Bulldogs both having their first wins for the season in their last outing. Finding themselves behind the 8 ball in the race for a top 4 spot. As the ball heads back towards the line, picked up for the Dogs, and that'll be high contact. Head over the footy, and a free kick going to the Western Bulldogs, and that will be Ellie Blackburn.
Good to see getting hands on the footy. She returns to the Swiss Wellness VFLW competition. The ball there, missed it, got hands to it, couldn't complete it. Now off hands, an opportunity again for the Bulldogs. So this ball going in high again to the top of the goal square. Lachlan there, just lost a handle on it. They've still got numbers here, the Bulldogs, and they should get a goal. They do. The first goal of the afternoon. I think it might be McLeod who's kicked it. We'll just get confirmation of that in the gloomy conditions, and they've got their first on the board here, the Western Bulldogs. 1-4-10, plays no score, 5 minutes gone in the opening quarter. As indeed it was Kirsten McLeod who got the first goal, but they've been pressing for pretty much all of the 5 minutes of this opening term, so deserved a reward for their effort.
And they go forward again. Wilds out of the middle. At the half-back line, the Demons get the turnover. However, quick kick goes up towards the wing. That came from Sheriff. Bulldogs play worked out of the contest was Hunt. Goes again. Toe poke off the ground by Rennie. Gets to the front spot. Now there's Demons everywhere around her. Picked up by Sheriff again. And it's not coming out of there. Right in front of our broadcast position. 6 minutes gone, Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 7 action. Hand pass out the back. Kick around the corner came from Smith towards the half-forward line. It jungles off the back of Martinuzzo. Hand pass came out wide to Paul. She goes towards half-forward. Well-judged effort getting back was Casey Sheriff, and takes the mark for the Demons.
So Sheriff will look to go in short, and again just finding the ruckman, Wugul, who short on options here. Kick up the line. Zanka takes it for Casey.
First round draft pick for Melbourne. Highly rated young players.
There's the kick off a step. Here's a good one. Got plenty of distance on that ball. Remembering there's no real breeze to speak of at the moment. A stalemate, and the umpire says give it to me. He hands to it, throwing it back to the umpire. Laura Bailey for the Western Bulldogs as the ball is tossed up. Again, Orgle trying to get the tap down. We'll get the second effort as well for Casey. Just lost a handle on it there, was Poke, but the Bulldogs have got some run and got some opportunity here on this outside if they can actually get clear. They can't though. Poke again coming through for Casey. The ball to the top of the goal square. This is the best chance they've had for the quarter so far. Ball spinning towards the line. And safety first for Nicole Paul, who sees it over for a rush behind. That's their first score of the game, 7 minutes in. They're 1, Bulldogs 10.
Chance here now. The Demons really need to lock this in, get themselves some scoring opportunities, because the Bulldogs have looked very strong so far. Paul to herself and then got it all the way out to the 50. Turning back around was Bailey. Handball back in traffic. Hunt goes one way, back the other. That was beautifully done. Hand pass across to McMahon into the centre of the ground. Getting back was Darcy Guttridge. Knocked the ball to ground. Has to go again. Gathered by Sheriff, who's had a lot of it in the first 10 minutes of the game. Inside 50 it goes. Berry got rid of her opponent. Can't pick it up. It's a slippery ball like a cake of soap. Dispossessed. The Sloane defence came in, knocked it away from her. Lachlan thrown out of the contest. There is a whistle.
Itself.
It is a throw. And the free kick is going against Annabelle Scott. And we'll go to the Casey Demons. And that is Mercedes. She gets 50. Not sure what that's for.
No, I didn't see.
Protected area, maybe?
Maybe. I didn't see a player on the mark either, but... And still not a player on the mark, interestingly enough.
Very short 50.
Kick goes short. Gutteridge takes the mark. Inside case, the centre here at Casey Fields. It is a magnificent ground set up here. So many great ovals to choose from. Jacobson will kick over the top and not find the target. Coming through there is Newman. Just needs to create the contest here for Casey. Can't do so. Now off hands. Lachlan's caught at the bottom of the pack. There's a whistle. A free kick will go the Bulldogs' way. And they want to get it going quickly. The ball over the top here. Birch has got a bit of work to do. Did well just to worry her opponent off the footy. Got the handball away. Now into space, a one-on-one contest. Well done, McLeod, just to affect the contest and then go back in again. Bulldogs just with the upper hand in the early stages. Lachlan again just slid the handball out. No one could quite get clear. Another stalemate looks like it's going to happen, and the umpire will come in and say, give it to me. 10 plays 1.
So we'll see in these slippery conditions, Peter, a lot of stoppages.
Yep, we'll
see plenty of them in dry conditions in the high-pressure Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition. Hand pass missed the target. Was knocked back into the contest by McLean. And you'll also see a fair bit of that. The umpires seem a lot happier to let the ball go than they are in the VFL competition. Give the girls a chance to get it out. One down by Rennie. Missed the handball, caught Hamilton laid a tackle that was a little bit crude. Free kick is going to Casey. And it's Kayla Bent-Beltson. Also kicked 5 goals in the last game against Williamstown. Short pass. And the Demons can build here. This is Shevlin. Long ball from Maddie Shevlin towards forward 50. A little bit of a nudge. Got the ball out the back. Demons build, snap around the corner, but there is a whistle, a hole. And a free kick is going to the Western Bulldogs at centre half back. And that is with Bailey Hunt.
Yep, who'll look to get something going. We'll go to that outer side. It always happens when you have a broadcast game that the ball ends up on the outer side more often than not. Trying to come in to take the mark. Rebuffo, free kick. I think, no, not called by the umpire. It does go over the line. We'll have it thrown in right in front of that scoreboard, which the light is beaming. It's going to light the way for the players today. 10 plays 1.
Like a fifth light tower, isn't it?
It is.
And it's only going to get brighter.
As we move into the evening. Here, the sun pretty much setting around 5 o'clock. The shorter days. As the ball here with Sheriff, who kicks to a very vacant 50 position, very vacant half-forward position. So McLean needed to take the mark and was up to it as well. Now waiting for the leads. They're going to be high leads here, I think. Ball slowed down, called a play on by the umpire and in trouble. So the options not presenting themselves for the Casey Demons, but they do get some opportunity now as the ball going long. Gutteridge kicking inside the 50. No one could take the mark. Ball off hands. Working hard is Tara Morgan, who kicks outside the 50. It looks like it's going to come straight back in again. Just pushing it forward is McLean with the punch, but she's turned it over. And now we go back up to centre wing. Good one-on-one contest this. And the Bulldogs, if they can get clear of this, start to open up the play. But having something to say about it is McDonough, who did well. Got around a couple. Really nice effort to keep the ball back into the middle of the ground. Dangerous position. Orgul let go of the footy just at the right time, but then left it. And now the kick going long inside 50. Here's an opportunity. An open goal. Just need the steady. Yup, got it. Wilds kicks it. And that's the second for the Western Bulldogs. 16 plays one, 13 minutes into the opening quarter.
Yeah, she is a goal kicker, Hayley Wilds. Kicked a couple last week in that win over Williamstown. Found an early one, and the Bulldogs finally getting some reward for the dominance that they've had for most of this first term.
You can't say that there's a scoring in this afternoon because there isn't one. Amazingly here at Casey Fields, unless those Premier's flags have been tied down, there is no breezy.
Like Kevin Sheedy on a windsock.
Yes.
Out towards the wing goes the footy. Head over the football. That should have been a free kick to Casey in favour of McDonough. Wasn't paid. And we get a ball up.
Come on, Dave, let's go!
So just forward of the centre circle for Casey. One down by the Demons. Pushed off the ball was Blackburn with authority. Thrown on the boot by Poke. Up towards half forward it goes for the Demons. Running onto it is Tatham. More desperation shown by Paul to slap it away. It came straight back in off the boots, and McLean wraps it up, as does Brooke Wunham, making her debut as the 23rd player for the Western Bulldogs. Tapped by McMahon. Quick kick forward for Casey. Towards the 50 it goes. Backing herself off the line there now was Danuccio, and she gets a free kick. Dumped into the ground.
Yeah, she released the footy there.
And she's just checking the face. A bit of a face plant when she got put into the ground,
Yes.
Taylor Danuccio. Plenty of experience in the early stages of this VFL W Swiss Wellness competition. She's already played 31 games into the third season of the competition. So Taylor Danuccio chips it short. Not a good kick. It creates a problem. And pass over the top from Smith. Caught straight away. There was Cordner. And put over the line. She did well to recover there, did Danuccio, and see the boundary throw in after the missed kick.
So the ball will be hurled back in. 15 gone in this opening quarter. It's been Bulldogs mainly, but the Demons doing well just to control a bit more of the footy as this quarter has gone along. Working there, Smith held up in the tackle. Did well just to be held up there, and the umpire will throw the ball up. As players get into position. Vogel just bumped off the footy there by McMahon for the Bulldogs as Bulldogs look to try and head forward. They will now. McMahon. Wilds had time just to hack it onto the boot, put it up towards attacking 50. Clean numbers here. Berry trying to come forward and affect the contest. Couldn't do so. Sheriff is there. Little handball across. And they've got the turnover again here, the Bulldogs. He's trying to find some space, Wilds. This time goes a little bit longer inside the 50. Clean bowls the initial pack. Working hard. There is Lowison. Can't find anywhere to go, and the umpire says, give it to me. So the game opening up just a little bit. 16 minutes in. Margin is 15 points.
So the second ruck in Rennie, who is having a rest forward. She should be winning this tap. She does. Excuse me, far taller than her opponent, but only as far as Newman, who threw it on the boot, back up towards the wing. Hits the ground. Well done there by McLeod, who kicked a goal earlier on. Kicks inside 50. Little hand pass through traffic there by Frankie. Left behind by Wilds when she had her eyes on another goal. And the umpire will have to sort this out. Very slippery footy, obviously causing havoc for both teams. The handling of it not as clean as it would otherwise be. Rennie with the tap, front and centre. Quick kick out of the pack from Gunn towards the top of the square. Arriving Rebuffo. Can she get a kick away? No. Casey arrives, the cavalry. Hand pass up there from Allen. Drew the player and got a hand pass out to Harrison. One of the co-captains under pressure. Quick kick goes out towards halfback. Still working hard here, Casey, to get out of trouble. Caught with the football. Turnover time, Rebuffo. Boundary line wins, does it? No, it's a throw. And it's a free kick to the Demons. And it's going to be taken there by Sloan.
So Sloan, halfback, will kick up towards the scoreboard. No one can take the mark. Plenty of Bulldogs numbers around this one. Needs to be careful. Scott was dragged down in the tackle. More sort of style, but the Demons are the ones to come away with it. Taking the uncontested mark is Newman. Can they set something up here? 18 minutes gone. In the opening quarter is the kick going long. No, plenty of Bulldogs numbers there, but none of them could take the mark and put any pressure on. It's a wide open 50. Just the two players, and they get to him now. Trying to bustle the way through is Cordner. Dragged down and is eventually released. And there's a cluster of Demons there, but the kick inside 50 is no good. It's going to be turned over. Morgan's going to go for a run for the Bulldogs. The kick going wider has been turned over again. Sheriff kicking inside the 50 for the Demons. No mark taken, but the kick around the body by McLean. It's going up and under, and the mark has been taken. Nicely done. I'll pick up who the player is out there.
How good has Casey Sheriff been in this first quarter for the Demons? They would be at least another couple of goals behind if it wasn't for her across halfback.
So a chance here for the first for the Demons. It's a low kick, but I think it's done enough. And the cheers from the Demons fans. It is Ben Velson who's kicked the goal, the first for the Demons. 16 plays 7 here in this opening quarter. Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition.
Very accurate kick for goal too. 7 goals won for the season now for Ben Velson, including those 5 last week, or 2 weeks ago I should say, against Williamstown. They needed that in this last minute of the first quarter just to give them something to build on, because the Bulldogs got a flying start, haven't been able to keep it going. Casey's managed to cancel that out almost. Wild's quick kick towards half forward. Only goes as far as the defence there in Lowerson, who kicked out towards the wing. They're going to run out of time, Casey. Newman kicks towards half forward. The mark is taken, but it doesn't matter. By Phillips. It's quarter time here in Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 7 action, and the Western Bulldogs got themselves a flying start before a late goal from the Casey Demons brought it back to 9 points at quarter time. The Bulldogs are 2-4-16. Casey Demons 1-1-7.
Go through the goal kickers while you're there.
Kirsten McLeod and Hayley Wilds for the Western Bulldogs. And for Casey in the last minute, Kayla Bent-Velson with the goal for Casey. So an interesting first quarter, a tough first quarter in slippery conditions, but it looks like it's actually starting to clear up, which will be good news for both us and, more importantly, for them.
We'll take a break. Second quarter coming up really soon here on vfl.com.au. set for a start in the second quarter here at Casey Fields this afternoon. And their Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition. It is the Bulldogs 2-4-16, the Demons 1-1-7. There's some support for the D's earlier today with the Demons over Coburg in the Peter Jackson VFL. 16 plays 7.
And it is straight out of the centre. The tap was won by Rennie for the Bulldogs. Hand pass over the top from Smith. Can't break the zone. Strong tackle. Quick hand pass. Eventually it spilled out to McLeod, who kicks inside 50 off front spot. It bounced off the chest there of Frankie. Still a chance here for the Bulldogs. Hand pass over the top. Trying to work her way through was Berry. Head over the football. Umpire's letting that one go today. And Berry bounced back and rode Allen into the ground. So they're being let go. Is the way we're playing here in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Berry dispossessed. That's been dragged back in. Umpire will let it go again. Lachlan tries to dive on the football. Hand pass out. Quick kick away eventually from Sheriff. Snap back in again by Berry towards the top of the goal square. Gathered here for the Demons by Allen. The clearing kick goes out towards the back flank. Chance to run onto it for Jacobson. Getting there first was Shevlin. She got dumped over the line unceremoniously and illegally. And we'll get the free kick for the Casey Demons.
Taking a little while to get to her feet as well. As Shevlin will put these up towards centre wing. Ball off hands. Junior again for Blackburn for the Bulldogs. The high kick up towards half forward, more into the centre of the ground than anything else. On hands and knees is Bailey. As the quick kick comes out inside the 50 into a dangerous spot. The one-on-one contest, well done there. Lawson did well just to clear the area. But it may only be temporary, as working hard here for the Bulldogs is Wilds. Manages to find some space. A little ball over the top's being cut off. Now it ends up in the hands of Lachlan, who goes around the body. And that's a good mark taken by Frankie, who will look to line up and have the shot. He's going to run around actually to try and improve the angle. It's a floating ball and it slides in for a behind. 17 plays 7 in this second quarter. 20-minute flat quarters in the Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition. And in a moment I'll give you the other games being played in this round.
The Bulldogs leading by 10 points. Demons to bring it back into play. Short ball from Harrison was good. Found Darcy Guttridge. A highly rated young player, Guttridge. The kick doesn't quite make it all the way to Johnson. Puts the pressure on. Whistle and play. Umpire says, my ball.
There have been 2 games already played in the Swiss Wellness VFL. I'll give you those scores in a moment.
Lachlan tried to break through. In the end, had to lay a tackle there on Guttridge. Working through Lachlan. Still battling is Lachlan. It was kicked out of her hands there by Newman. Still the Bulldogs work forward. Morgan only as far as the Demons defender. Snapped away from there by Bent Veltzen up towards half-back. There is a push and a free kick going to the Western Bulldogs, 65 metres out, taken by Birch. She goes across the centre half forward line. Little chip inside 50. Punched away, it came back to Jolly. Hard nut is Sarah Jolly, inside by hand she goes. Little hand pass over the top. Hunt, kick, beautiful. Well, I thought it was beautifully smothered, but it was straight off the head of the Demons player, who's gone down hard and has not got up yet. Still the Bulldogs. Hand pass from Scott. Couldn't break it clear. Now the injured Demon is in danger and the umpire calls for a stoppage, and that'll be a ball up, and it's a little bit unlucky for the Bulldogs because Hunt was just about to swing around and have a shot.
Harriet, according to the player, coming from the ground.
Smothered it with a nose.
Yep.
It's not good on a cold day.
Absolutely not.
Not good on any day.
There's a chance here. Just some advice there for Gardner as well. The positive affirmation here is Berry having a shot, putting it up to the top of the goal square, and a little juggler.
Not paid.
Sort of style, not paid with the umpire for Frankie. Oh, that's disappointing. It'll be thrown up top of the goal square.
The umpire was behind that contest so potentially didn't see the clear mark, but I think the other one could have overruled him.
Double duty there for Frankie. Lachlan dragged down. That's holding the footy. No, it's gone the other way.
High tackle.
It was too high. Oh, I thought that was okay, but
do two wrongs make a right?
square up, you reckon? Well, Lachlan will line up and have the shot anyway, directly in front, 20 metres.
Yeah, I think he got them both wrong, but the result will probably be the same, although it's not Frankie having the shot.
Well, let's see. Rook Lachlan's kicks and misses.
Ooh.
So, the other results so far in round 7, the Southern Saints 6-2-38 had a win over the NT Thunder 2-1-13 at Sky Bus Stadium. Imagine that.
Big upset, that one.
The heat of the Northern Territory to playing down to Frankston.
Yeah.
I'll give you the other score in a moment.
Undefeated Thunder were before today and unchallenged, so there's a change in rules against them in this week that they I don't believe are too happy about. Peter, I'm sure people could let us know more about it, but I believe they were told not to select more than 4 Adelaide-based players this week after being undefeated in the first 5 games. So it's a decision that they are in discussions with. So
the other game too, Collingwood 8-4-52 had a win over Carlton 2-5-17 at Warrawee Park, and there's one other game to come this evening at Melville Oval, and Melbourne Uni will take on Darebin, and a game tomorrow, the curtain raiser match, Hawks versus the Bombers, and then the men's clash happening in the afternoon. But 11:45 start if you want to get to the Box Hill City Oval to see the Box Hill Hawks taking on Essendon there.
Important game, that one, and that game out at Hamilton. They do that every year, Melbourne University and Darebin tonight. So I reckon it'll be nice and cool out in Hamilton at 6:30. Last year, Darebin won by a kick, so they expect another close one out there tonight. As the ball goes towards half forward for the Demons. Hip and shoulder, Danuccio beaten for it. That was well done by Zanka. Still, Casey work. Newman got a hand pass away. Lachlan couldn't pick it up cleanly. Eventually, Zanka got dispossessed, little toe poke through. Scrambling it forward, the Bulldogs. Caught with the football is Sheriff as soon as she picked it up. And we have another ball up.
So, 18 plays 7, ball tossed up. Tricky conditions for the players. Lachlan just trying to paddle it forward for the Bulldogs. Little handball over the top. McLeod found Buffo as she's dispossessed, and Demons, can they clear? No, there's plenty of Bulldogs around this ball. First, second and third efforts okay. Lachlan getting into the back of her opponent, but it's been picked up anyway for the D's by Sloan. Gets the ball out, and now they've got some run. Just tapping it on the ground is Chevlin. Picks it up a very long way, but the kick going inside 50 is going to be turned over again. Turnover, Nicole McMahon will look to clear the area. And does as they work up towards centre wing, but that's a turnover. A bad miss from Hunt as this kick goes across the ground. A little give and go, poke. Just trying to get something going. The kick inside 50, no marking target there. As that's a good tackle, and that should be holding the footy, and it is. Excellent work from
Eden Zanka.
The Demons forwards. And Zanka will have a shot from just outside, just on the paint of 50. A few leads come in.
She hasn't even really looked, has she? She's
No.
backing herself to kick the 50.
Well, as I said, the wind down. Well, hard to tell because they're taking the flags down as the kick beats everyone, but off hands. Through for another behind. So 18 plays 8. Wondered why they weren't flapping. They're not actually up at the moment, the flags.
Well, that makes it harder to judge.
It does.
But Zanka wasn't far away.
Before
there,
that, though,
yeah,
we could tell.
They were flat in the
Anecdotally, I'll
first
tell
quarter.
you.
Yes, they were definitely flat in the first quarter. Kick back into play. Almost the mark to McDonough. Dispossessed Tatham gets in there as well. And we have a ball up. Zanka kicked that a good 45 metres,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad roost with a wet footy. Ball up. Thumped away by McMahon, only as far as Tatham, steps through one tackle, kicks inside 50, bouncing ball, running onto it was Phillips. She was wrapped up immediately. But it's in a dangerous position for the Casey Demons. 1-2-8, trailing the Bulldogs 2-6-18, midway through the second quarter. Wilds will clear, and the Bulldogs can run away out of defence.
Well, maybe only temporary at this stage. They're just not able to pick it up cleanly. Hunt on the deck, just lost a handle on it. Now a chance again for the Demons. The pressure is enormous. Hunt again, second and third efforts. Demons just need to be able to clear this space. That tackle just drifted a little bit high, but the umpire said, we'll throw it up.
It was beautifully done by Eden Zanker, wasn't it? She was outnumbered 3-1. And she managed to get there first and stop the Bulldogs streaming out of defence.
Well, trying to work her way through his poke again for the Demons. May only be temporary though, as Hamilton set upon. The umpire says, well, I'll just throw it up again. Maybe a lot of this afternoon with the wet conditions. The ball near the boundary line. It goes over. We will have it thrown in.
Good to see the weather has cleared.
10-point ball game, yeah. A lot better now, the conditions here. A lot lighter, even though the lights are on here at Casey Fields midway through this second term.
Bit of blue sky above in the late afternoon as well here at Casey Fields. As a quick kick away for the Bulldogs. Goes up to centre wing, clears everybody. Getting back there first was Jacobson. It was kicked away from her. Strong tackle laid by Wilds. Jacobson dives in there again. Berry picked it up for the Bulldogs. Snap around the corner. Big up and under. Off the pack, McDonough. Fed the hand pass through. Backing herself, Darcy Guttridge runs straight through. Kicks towards half forward. At the back here is Phillips. Can she run onto it? No. Arriving from full forward was Orgel. Got there first. And that created the stoppage. And the Demons have another chance to set up for a scoring chance.
So the ball tossed back up. Well, they might be setting themselves up for a scoring chance, but the Bulldogs' defence has been rock solid this afternoon. Been no sort of free play whatsoever as the ball here, paddling in front, Martinuzzo. The kick, though, comes out, almost the mark, not taken, and now another opportunity here for the Bulldogs to lock the ball in. And the umpire says, give it to me, top of the goal square. Best chance here of the quarter so far. Let's wait for this ball to come back. Throw up, top of the goal square for Demons. Off hands. Just can't get the kick away. Now's an opportunity. Smith kicks the goal. Catherine Smith puts a score on the board and brings Casey a little bit closer. 18 plays 14. 4-point ball game. We're on our way to half time in this one. Swiss Wellness VFL women's action.
Right back in it now, the Casey Demons. The Bulldogs haven't kicked a goal for a while now. (2-6-18) to 2-2-14. Casey have worked hard to get themselves back in the contest. Off the ground goes Blackburn. She'll run onto it a second time. Wanted to step through the tackle and lost. Should have been holding the ball. Umpire called play on McDonough. Dispossessed. Strong tackle by McMahon. Quick kick out of the contest from Sheriff. Goes up towards half forward. Hunt tried to go out of mid-air and missed it. Running back onto it for Casey is Casey Guttridge. And she gets grabbed without the football. And we'll get the free kick. Two Caseys playing for Casey this afternoon.
Just keep it all symmetrical, of course.
Why wouldn't you play for Casey? Guttridge kicks inside 50. And getting back and taking a safe mark was Hunt. Inside that defensive zone. She goes short and finds Lachlan, playing more up the ground today. Long ball from Brooke Lachlan towards the wing. Oh, great mark in the front spot, taken there by Frankie. Defensive side of the outer wing, almost kicked into the player on the mark. Oh, solid contact there on Scott. Turnover time. The Demons go forward again, but it's out of bounds on the full. And the Western Bulldogs will regain possession at the 14.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 7. Bulldogs 18, Demons 14.
So it's the kick going forward. Demons have had a lot of footy in this second quarter without any reward. They maybe get something going here. I think no is going to be the answer to that. Let's bring it back in as Frankie. Again, just players can't get clear. As soon as they get the footy, they're immediately tackled. And we'll see another stalemate as we wait for this ball to be thrown in. Less than 5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Ball tossed back in. Bucks will go at it from position. Give that one to McMahon. Again, the D's, as soon as they find some space, they're wrapped up. Little underground sort of handball. Guthrie did really well there. But again, just need some teammates running alongside. This could be the opportunity now. In space is Johnson, who kicks up towards half forwards, right near the boundary line. This will be a task to keep this ball in. Cordner tried to, but couldn't in the end. And the umpire says we'll throw it in.
Good to see she's caught her bearings, Harriet Cordner, after that nasal smother earlier on in this quarter. Back out there for the Casey Demons, a very famous name around the Melbourne Football Club is Cordner. Quick kick forward for the Demons. Cordner with a chance here, picked it up nicely. Little hand pass, just misses the target. Kicked off the ground by Shevlin. McDonough's in there as well. Stacks on the mill for about the 80th time in the first half.
Well, if there was time on, we'd be playing a good 10 minutes of it, I would say, at least. Maybe even more.
We'd be here until about 9 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
Push in the back, not paid to the Demons. Handball through. Another fumble from Hunt. And it's over the boundary. So heading towards half-time, just 3 minutes to go now. The Bulldogs have added 2 behinds in this second quarter. Casey have doubled their score with 1 goal won, and it's 4 points the margin.
Got to say, too, there's a good crowd in for this one as well.
Plenty have hung around, haven't they, after the VFL game?
I also reckon there's some that have come in just for the women's game as well.
That is quite possible, given there was women's football across on the Cranbourne Eagles ground earlier on today too. So that's come to an end, and they've probably wandered over to see more women's footy, which is great to witness. It's
free entry too. Is this in a dangerous position for the Bulldogs? It's rushed through for a behind. Free entry means you can come across and enjoy the facilities here, and certainly a lot of fans are, which is great to see. This competition continuing to grow. As Birch takes it in the back pocket.
It wasn't easy to get a car park arriving out here today, which is not unusual, but in the conditions, I thought it might have been a little bit simpler.
Well, it's good to see that football alive and well in the southeast. As this kick up the line, was that out in the full by Scots?
Half volley, I think.
It's dribbled over the line. It will be a throw in. 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. 3 points, tight game. And Demons pressing in this second quarter. As just the 1 goal has been kicked, but a lot of stoppages and a lot of this sort of stuff going on. Just trying to clear the area is Morgan. A high ball. Plenty of Casey numbers around it, but the drop mark means it's just a little bit trickier. Shevlin hurls it on the boot, heading up towards an attacking position. Smith up towards the 50. No one can take the mark. Chance to run onto it. In fact, shepherding it was Gunn for the Bulldogs. And they'll pile in on top now because there's an opportunity to get away, and the umpire will throw the ball up.
Could be a developing story here as Ellie Blackburn has just come off in the hands of the trainers holding the left side of her lower back.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Not good news. Her first match back in the Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition. So we'll see as the ball's held up. And the umpire will come in and throw it up again. 50 seconds to play. How's she looking at the moment?
You've got a trainer working on the area.
Blackburn.
Checking things out.
Well, we'll get more of an opportunity at half-time, and we'll let you know whether she reappears after half-time. It would be a real shame, a real draw card to this game. Anyway, chance here. Is there time for one more? McDonough from 50. High ball for the Demons up towards the top of the goal square. No one could take the mark. Try and bend down and pick it up is McLean. Can't do so, and the umpire should come in and intervene. That will probably be, unless there's a quick kick out of the pack here, the last play of the half. As the umpire wants to get on with it quickly. Is there a chance? Time ticking down. I don't think there will be now. The Bulldogs should just kill this contest. They will. Into open space. And I don't think that mark was taken. It wasn't. So it is half-time here. And the Demons grafting away. They got closer. 2-3-15. And the Bulldogs only the two behinds. 2-6-8. So a 3-point ball game here at half-time as we keep an eye on Ellie Blackburn.
She's still on the bench, being dealt with by two trainers as the other four interchange players have gone out onto the field.
So it is half-time here. We might just quickly the goal kickers, Brendan, while we've got the chance.
For the Bulldogs, just those two in the first quarter to Kirsten McLeod and Hayley Wilds. And for Casey, Kayla Bent-Veltson in the first quarter and Catherine Smith snapping the only goal of that second term to make it a 3-point margin at half-time. Peter, we're set up for a big second half.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter in around 10 minutes or so's time. You're watching the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's live on vfl.com.au. Second half about to get underway in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Competition. 2-6-18 the Bulldogs, the Demons 2-3-15. Lights taking effect here at Casey Fields. Let's get into the second half.
And it'll be Orgel who wins the tap for the Demons. Oh, straight out of the centre. Good work there by Smith. Kick towards half forward. Left behind there by Martinuzzo. Diving into the contest, Morgan. She might be hurt there, Morgan. She got a free kick and took the advantage has been taken while everyone was standing around looking at the umpire saying advantage. No one went anywhere. Finally, the kick went out wide and back into traffic. They worked it well in the end, the Dogs, through Bailey, out to the outer side of the ground. Birch, tough player, gets it back. Libby Birch kicks it long down towards the wing. That's a beautiful kick for Berry. Playing her first game of the season, Deanna Berry. Swings onto the right, kicks towards the 50. Ball brought to ground. Arriving is Lachlan, just hacked out of midair by Newman. Can't quite clear the zone yet. Flicked out the back, that looked like a throw, and it was. A little tunnel ball. Free kick was quickly taken by hand. Wilds received from Rennie, kicked beautifully. That is lovely done by Hayley Wild. She's a very good kick, and Brooke Lachlan will line up from 20 metres out straight in front.
Oh, just a beautiful delivery of the football. That's the best we've seen for the quarter, I'd have to say. Really nicely delivered and deserves the finish.
Hasn't been as accurate as she was in the AFLW competition, Brooke Lachlan, but she's got this one. 1 goal, 2 today, doubles her season tally, and the Bulldogs get the perfect start to the third quarter. They go to 3-6-24, Casey Demons 2-3-15. Swiss Wellness VFL Women's round 7 action at Casey Fields.
Yeah, wonderful movement of the footy, and the Bulldogs. I want to put the foot down here a little bit, you have to say, because the Demons just been slowly pegging them back. Ball back in the middle. Just going through hands. Wilds, there's a free kick going the way of Wilds. She'll take it right in the middle of Casey Fields. So keep an eye on whether Ellie Blackburn has come back from the rooms after that first half. Berry tried to go one-handed in the end because that's all she could do. Now lost a handle on it. Working there, Jacobson. Dragged down. Not going anywhere there is Tatham. And she's held up. The umpire will come in.
Banking on that answer being no, Peter. There's only 4 players down on the bench for the Bulldogs, and I can't see Ellie Blackburn there or out on the ground.
Might be getting some work just in the rooms, just on the massage tables in there. Better option than out at the dugout. Bailey here for the Bulldogs, just locking the ball in. The umpire will throw it up.
The difference is the Casey girls are standing up in their kit ready to go. The Bulldogs interchange players are all rugged up to the hilt.
Yeah, well, yes.
Whether you can read anything into that or not?
I don't think so.
Maybe the Bulldogs girls are smarter.
Yeah, exactly. Only when required to come back out as the ball's thrown back up again. Again, we're just trying to clear the area. We're not going to in a hurry. It's a good tackle. Nice work there. Rennie was not going to let her opposition player go. Nicely done. She's going into the ruck contest again. No one can get a clean shot at it. Orgel just trying to get it out of there. A few teammates running alongside. Jacobson, one of those. And again, another stalemate. And this is really just going to suit the Bulldogs. It's in their attacking part of the ground. Here's McDonough trying to just find some space on that outer side right near the scoreboard. They just need some open play here, the Demons. Oh, the footy's being turned over. Frankie again. And the Bulldogs' best so far today in towards Berry, who couldn't take the mark. Now needs a second effort. The ball tunnel balling around. Berry again, just preferring to go head first. Good to see her back in this Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Competition. It's hard and tough in there at the moment. The umpire's just content to let it go for a little while and then say, right, give it to me.
So 9 points the margin in favour of the Bulldogs as the light fades here in the twilight at Casey Fields. Out of the contest, that looked like holding the ball. The umpire decided to let it go. Picked up there by Sheriff, who threw it on the boot outside 50. Good play, desperation by Phillips for the Demons. She won the contest and created a ball up. Rucks to go again. Ogle over the top. Running onto it wild. Snap back over her shoulder. Frankie camped underneath it. Fist came from the Demons' defence. Sheriff's in there as well. Picked up for the Dogs. Sheriff makes the smother. Ogle couldn't pick it up cleanly. Jolly trying to battle through there. Can't get through again. Wild's involved as well. And another ball up eventually. 3-6-24. 2-3-15. The Western Bulldogs lead the Casey Demons Swiss Wellness VFL Women's round 7.
As the ball spilling out here. No, it's not. It's going to be brought back in again. We're just going to go contest after contest, stoppage after stoppage.
That'll suit the Dogs just fine.
Absolutely. They won't mind this at all. It's in their attacking zone. Now the ball to be cleared. Outside the 50. But running onto it is Birch. Just need to get the handball out. There's a whistle. Free kick going the Bulldogs' way again. Now this time for sure. Another go at it. Kick inside 50. No marking targets. No one can take the mark. Working hard there on hands and knees is Harrison for the Demons. Just needing to lock the ball in. No one can get clear from it. Now a chance. Lachlan into the goal square. Tumbling footy. It just needs to sit. It does sit for McLeod, who kicks the goal. Did well in the end. And a bit of breathing space now for the Bulldogs. The margin is 15 points in this third quarter.
First multiple goal scorer in the game, Kirsten McLeod, did it nicely. Brooke Lachlan was terrific in that contest as well. Was probably held back a couple of times and could have got a free, but just kept going and burst out of there. Put the kick to the one-on-one in the goal square, and Kirsten McLeod was too good.
Yeah, and they just lock the play inside their forward 50. You're bound to get the result in the end, and that's what's happened.
It's a perfect way to respond to your best player being potentially out of the game, isn't it? Come out and kick two quick ones. Through the centre. Frank, there's a Demons player who's come up sore behind the play. That's Phillips. Might have a problem with the knee there. Umpire calls for a ball up. Little tap out. Zanka can't get through. Tatham's there as well. My ball, says the umpire. Tell you what, Casey and Melbourne supporters have got a lot to look forward to with Darcy Guttridge and Eden Zanka. They both look like very good players. As the pack converges, unable to break it out with Shevlin. Camped over top of the football, Libby Birch. She won't be easy to shift. Trying to work through. Again, that was Scott. Quick kick for the Demons. Goes towards half forward. This will be a bouncing ball. Who wants it the most? Pack on it again. Martin Uzo tapped it forward. Phillips. She has been crunched again.
Gee.
Strong contest. Missed the footy with the clean kick. That was an air ball. Pressure on Smith. Got it across to Casey Guttridge, whose kick couldn't get clear again. Martin Uzo tried a second time. Tapped it over the top. Now Lachlan just threw it on the boot and said, get it out of here. Still Lachlan goes again. Won another possession and got a hand pass up down towards the wing. If they get out of this, it's all on Brooke Lachlan. But it's not going to happen. And finally, the umpire can call a stalemate, and I can catch my breath.
Yeah, well, it's just to see it moving. Just gives you an idea what an arm wrestle it is between these two teams. I mean, talked about some of those players for Casey and find their way on an AFLW list. Here's Lachlan again. I'll come back to that point in a moment. That's at the next stoppage, which might be coming up very quickly. It is. The way that the seasons are structured now, these players, I mean, the big question mark is playing in two different competitions across the year is workload and how hard they're having to train and work over a long part of the year. But the beauty of that is that they're done by September, and then there's a chance to have a proper break to switch off for a while and then prepare for the AFLW season. So it's structured nicely on that sort of front. It's just when they get the balance between the AFL and then the Swiss Wellness VFLW. But again, there's enough of a gap, I think, for the players to actually have proper breaks through the season.
And they are 2 shortened seasons too. So there's still only 21 home and away games across the 2 seasons, which is not a lot longer than a full season. But it can play down on players who are obviously still channeling their bodies and their abilities to run a long season, and that's why we're seeing players like Blackburn and Berry not front in the first 5 games.
And not just that, but also if they're playing other sports like basketball, for example, too, because they can be out
hasn't played yet this season. Out of
season for that sort of thing too. They don't necessarily align, but there is that opportunity. I think too, once you start to see, we're going to see more teams in the AFLW, we're going to see more teams in this competition too, that those seasons will start to get a little bit longer as well. It will become a little bit trickier, but I guess the goal is for them to fully align with one another. So you can play in one or the other competition.
Long term, I can see the AFLW, when it gets up to the 18 teams, lining up with the AFL men's competition, which will obviously create a full rework of the Swiss Wellness competition.
Yeah, but there's enough teams there to create a really strong competition too. And you've got to start somewhere, and certainly where we've started has been a really high watermark, I think, in terms of both competitions. And, there'll be a little bit of tinkering and stuff going on, but you're watching this contest here. It's a really tight contest. It's 15 points the margin.
Progress has been outstanding.
It certainly has.
2 or 3 seasons, hasn't it?
Absolutely. As the ball here, Cordner trying to go off the ground, but there's a free kick going to come back. It will go the Demons' way, holding for Ben Velzen to take it on centre wing. Stabs at the kick. It's a good one. No mark taken. There's the ball to the back. A high ball by Wilds into the middle of Casey Fields. Ridge is brought down. Now an opportunity again for the Demons. They're not going to be able to get clear from this. Umpire waits for a time. Now it eventually slips clear. Maybe a push in the back there, Birch. No call from the umpire. They still should manage to clear here. Tough footy. Doing a good job of it was missed just to get that ball out. Now Berry can run onto it around the body. It's 2-on-1 in favour of the Demons. Now the Cavalry arrive. Really important footy to win here for the Casey Demons. They can't. Eventually it's just hacked out of there, trying to work her way through as Sheriff, brought down again. And the umpire might call a stop to it or pick out a free kick, one or the other. Decides to throw the ball up just to get things moving. As we've played almost 13 minutes in this third quarter, 15 points the margin.
One down by McMahon. Can't clear it. Finally it squirts out the back and it's hacked away out of defence there by Sheriff again. Out towards the wing it goes. Secondary kick goes towards half forward for Casey. Bouncing ball, it's a long foot race. Getting there first is O'Brien. She got beaten for the footy, however, and now it's being kicked towards the pocket. One-on-one contest. Paul is there for the Dogs. Arriving was Sloan, who kicked it forward twice in that passage of play. And eventually they've gone length of the field and got a boundary throw in next to the behind post. You will notice, Peter, I'm not sure whether it'll be picked up on the screen, there is zones here in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. You see 2 pairs have to stay inside 50 at the opposite end at all times.
We're seeing it happening. They're trialling stuff like this in the AFL. Just keeps the play nice and open.
Yep, 4 less players around the football. I think they might end up going a step further and go up to 3 pairs as well at AFL level.
There's more players, of course, on the field. For that, a few less in the women's competitions. It does mean it's a little bit more free-flowing, although it's been a tight contest between these two teams so far this afternoon, as the Bulldogs just looking to clear. Just need to get boot to ball. Dangerous, though. Here's McLean, tackled. And the umpire says, we'll throw the ball up.
Dangerous position here for the Casey Demons. They need a goal desperately.
They do. 14 and a half minutes gone. It's Get the umpire to throw the ball up quickly. That's tacked out of there off the side of the boot. Orgel was pushed off a kick at the crucial moment as this ball was tending to head outside 50. They'll get another opportunity here, the Bulldogs, maybe. Orgel putting in the tackle. And there's going to be a hole in the ball free kick. And it's going to go the way of the ruck in Orgel, who will go back and have a shot. 40 metres out, pretty much directly in front. Loads up, top of the goal square. No one can take the mark. Ball off hands. It's going to be locked in again. The umpire says, give it to me. In the final 5 minutes of this third term. The Rucks go at it. No one can get a clean touch at it. Wiles just looks to clear the area for the Bulldogs, but it's going to come straight back in, you would think. And over the footy from Johnson, who handballs over the top. Another opportunity here for the Demons as the ball is squared up. No mark taken. And again, the Bulldogs under pressure. This is good from the Demons. They're starting to press forward after it was all the Bulldogs in the first 10 minutes. Another attempt at a clearing kick. Falls to the back. To get hands to it is Gutteridge. Needs to just slide the ball out there. Can't do so. And the umpire will just allow things to go and clear up themselves. Good tackling pressure again from the Demons. And that's the reward. Holding the footy, the results. Another chance to press forward here.
So Orgel, too far out to score. Player on the mark's about 48 metres from goal. She runs hard and puts it on the outside of the boot. It falls, luckily for Poke, who has a shot at goal. But all the numbers are back for the Western Bulldogs in the last line. Lachlan took the mark. Got a little hand pass over the top. Streaming out of defence there is Morgan. She's okay after a knock earlier. Kick not so good. Tatham dispossessed. Under pressure now is I think that's Zanker at the base of that pack with the bright orange boots on. The umpire says my ball. So, in fact, it was Sally Fifield also wearing the fluoro orange. Ball to ground level. Fifield will go again. Lachlan worried out of the contest by Fifield. They're still in there with the footy though, the Bulldogs. Outside of the boot goes the kick. And that was by Wanham. It's been marked by Alicia Newman, who will drive it long. And she went for the torpedo punt and got a fair bit of it. Towards the forward 50 it went. Arriving for the Dogs. Hand pass out the back. Quick kick came from Hunt. Oh. And what has that hit? The Bulldogs reckon it's out of bounds on the full.
No,
They're not going to get it.
I think that Alicia Newman managed to trap that on the actual boundary line itself and skid it over.
Yeah. And our boundary umpire has agreed with that call. As we tick towards the final 2 minutes of this third quarter in the Swiss Wellness VFL women's competition.
It was a good effort in the end there anyway, as Gunn picks it up. Now a chance again for the Bulldogs. They've just got to try and get it forward. Oh, nudging her opponent under the footy was Mifsud. Yep, she gave away the free kick and wants to hang on to the footy. They're desperate to get it back, Avi Harrison. And where's the ball going back to? It wasn't going back to Avi Harrison in the end. It was going to Jordan Allen. That saved a bit of time. Otherwise, it would have been a 50. This kick's going to be turned over anyway.
I think she's still lucky.
Yeah, I agree. Rennie has it half back. Oh, that's going to be turned over as well. Poke dropped what she should have taken in the end. Ball here. Scotts works it into the middle of the ground. Couple of Demons there. Jacobson, one of those, but still got some teammates alongside.
What is she?
Now we're going with a deep ball inside the 50. Beats the initial pack. Working through to try and pick up that footy was Cordner. Still some numbers. Lachlan, there's a couple of players down here. Couple of players down and a free kick.
Nicole Paul is hurt for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but it's a free kick going Casey's way, I think, to Cordner. Taking a long time to get up.
It's Nicole Paul. I think she grabbed at her shoulder when she went down.
So we've just got a delay here, and that'll probably take us to three-quarter time. Cordner will have a shot, but most likely after the siren, looks like now, although 19 and a half minutes have ticked over.
Certainly be the last play, whether she can kick that far or not. She's another issue.
Up. Nicole Paul, but going to be helped off the ground, and probably fortuitous that it is three-quarter time. Time to be assessed and recover. But earlier tonight, Ellie Blackburn, just a little bit of a lower back injury. We haven't seen her in the second half. Meanwhile, Cordner's kick is a goal. I think it's got the carry. It has. It has. Harriet Cordner gives them some hope on three-quarter time. 4:6:30 the Bulldogs, 3:21 the Demons, and that is your three-quarter time score. Brendan, give us the goal kickers as we just keep an eye on Paul, who's just being helped from the ground. It doesn't look particularly good because the arm is just being held at the moment.
Yeah, shoulder or up around that area.
Collarbone maybe.
She's not very comfortable at all as Nicole Paul, so they could be two players down, the Western Bulldogs, and that makes that last goal very important for Casey, their only score of the third quarter. The goal scorers for the Western Bulldogs, Kirsten McLeod has 2, and singles to Hayley Wilds and Brooke Lachlan, while for Casey, 1 goal to Kayla Bent-Beltson, Catherine Smith and Harriet Cordner. Means it's a 9-point lead at three-quarter time to the Western Bulldogs.
Paul goes straight into the rooms. I suspect we won't see her in the final quarter. Can they hang on the Bulldogs, or will the Demons roll over the top? 30 plays 21, final quarter next on VFL.com.au. Final quarter, ready to get underway. The Bulldogs 4-6-30, Casey 3-3-21. Can they hang on? The Bulldogs a couple down on the bench. Brendan, take it away.
Brooke Lachlan straight out of the middle, roves it off of the ruck's hands, kicks inside 50. Flying chance, Darcy go. Hang on, handball was fed through nicely by Harrison. McDonough gets through traffic beautifully. Gave it back to Guttridge, who kicked up towards the centre of the ground. Bouncing ball, McDonough tried to run through. Got cleaned up by a teammate in Phillips, who's recovered well from that knock in the third quarter. And after an exciting start, it's ended up right back where it started from, in the centre circle just about. Finally, the umpires have let it go long enough, and a quick kick goes inside forward 50 again. Guttridge left it behind. Picked up for the Bulldogs eventually by Hunt. Got it to Berry. Snap around the corner. It's a one-on-one at the top of the goal square. It'll set nicely on McLeod. Fumbled. Still going, Kirsten McLeod. Shrugged the tackle. Couldn't possibly from there. No, she couldn't. But it was an open goal, a match-sealing goal, and it bounced off her knee, Kirsten McLeod, that time. And it's through for a behind. The margin is 10 points.
What effect being two down on the bench will be for the Bulldogs as this ball up towards defensive 50 or attacking 54. The Bulldogs now as a high ball. Jolly, it's going to be marked inside 50. Another mark. Is that Lachlan again?
I think it might
No,
be McLeod.
it is McLeod who's got it.
Yep.
And we'll line up and have a shot. This could almost be the sealer. I know it's only 10 points, but the way that the game has played out.
And they did it in the third quarter as well, having lost Blackburn. They came out with a couple of quick goals to steal a gap. If they can do it again here, it's a long way back for Casey.
So the kick on the way is across the face, and it's going to be marked in the other pocket. So we go from one pocket to the other. And the mark, it's Gunn who's got it. He's tight angle, will run around. End up going drop punt anyway. We're just going to go to the other pocket. We're just waiting for a mark on the other side. No one could take it though. Here's a real opportunity. McLeod again, right near the boundary line. It goes over. No, holding the footy.
Deanna Berry
Here's
wanted
the
a jumping
results.
tackle. Wasn't going to get that.
No, it was right near the boundary line. So a free kick for the Demons. And step one is to try and get it up there into the ground. Shevlin, the kick into some sort of space. Running onto it is Cordner. Brought down, or held up in the tackle, I should say. Is that they're just trying to paddle it forward now to centre wing, but it's going to come straight back in for the Bulldogs, and this is the problem. They're able to control large parts of the game. There's a quick kick, will go up towards centre half forward. Danuccio's got it. Got a running player alongside. Good shepherding work by Danuccio. Louds wild to find some space. Takes a bounce. Wasn't the best option. Was taken off the footy. And now we've got another stalemate. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 10 points the margin. We've got 17 minutes left to play.
A lot riding on this passage of play right now for the Western Bulldogs. Melbourne or Casey need to get it out of there quickly. We'll get another ball up. Darcy Guttridge has been very good. Casey Sheriff, I would reckon this game would be long over if it wasn't for those two across the half-back line for the Demons. Lachlan has been everywhere for the Western Bulldogs. McLeod dangerous up forward. Plenty of good players in a tough game. Rucks to battle, one by Orgel again. She's had plenty of hit-outs today. And she gets the chance to go for another one. 4-7-31 Western Bulldogs, 3-3-21 Casey Demons, 4 minutes final quarter. Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Round 7 action. Picked up by Berry, slung off the football and holding the ball.
Yep, thrown out. So chance here for the Demons to just make something happen. They've got to go the length of the field. Orgel will just put it into a dangerous position. And now the kick up forward. It's an open 50. Aside from those two pairs who have to stay in that zone. Now an opportunity for the Demons. Backtracking and not finding the target was Allen. It was a dangerous ball because now it's going to go forward for the Bulldogs. Maybe only temporary. Good tackling pressure here. Mifsud just trying to get her opponent off the footy. And the Demons will clear. Lachlan, though, in the front position, has got teammate running alongside in Birch. Onto that outer side, just worried off the footy. It's a stalemate, this one. It's a real arm wrestle, and it's right near the boundary line. The umpire will say, let's throw it in. Let's throw it in on that outer side. 15 to play, 10 points the margin.
And who was right there again? Brooke Lachlan. She's really stepped up in the second half since Ellie Blackburn's been out of the game. She's taken on that role terrifically. And if they win, it'll be no small part to her. Uncontested boundary throw in. Rennie took it out of the ruck, then got tackled and lost the footy. So free kick for the Demons. It'll be driven forward by Smith. Towards the 50 it goes. Quick hand pass through. Snap around the corner from Wilds. Back towards the middle of the ground. Little hand pass through from Guttridge. Couldn't pick it up, Fifield. Battling in again for the Demons. Borgles there, Newman. Stacks on the middle. Blow your whistle up. And he does. 6 minutes gone in the final quarter. Brendan Rhodes and Peter Mercado with you here at Casey Fields. The Bulldogs by 10 points.
Yeah, and well, this is suiting the Bulldogs at the moment because the Demons can't get anything going. Sheriff trying to get something done from half back. Can't do so because, oh, there's a hole in the footy. So this could be an opportunity. No advantage paid, though, by the umpire. It's going to have to come back. And they want it to come back as quickly as possible because they had something going there. The Demons, Phillips, now needs to go short. The play-on option is not a bad one. The kick into the pocket is okay. Good tackling pressure, but it falls to ground. Right near the boundary line, it'll go over. And we'll have it thrown in. Now they've got it in their particular part of the ground where they need to be, the Demons, and now they need to do all the attacking. 7 minutes gone in this final term. I'd say they need a goal in the next minute or two just to really put the pressure on the Bulldogs. A partial smother of the ball going through hands. Johnson. Can the Bulldogs clear from here? Lachlan just turned the footy over. Good tackling pressure again. The umpire says, give it to me. We'll throw it up. Need something out of this push forward, the Demons. Ball tossed up. They're not necessarily going to get it, although the play going without it was Hunt as this kick heading up towards the top of the goal square. They might get the goal in the end anyway. They get boot to ball, no. The umpire says high tackle. It'll be a free kick for the Bulldogs, and they should be able to relieve temporarily.
Morgan went short, only just cleared the 15. Libby Birch next to the behind post. She's being told to hit the boundary by the supporters here, and there's still plenty of them have hung around. Not a good kick. Strong mark floating in from the side by Cordner. Can she find a target? Kicked a terrific goal after the three-quarter time siren. Goes towards the top of the goal square. Flying over the top. Player in front.
Yeah, it's going to be player in front
Player
every
in
time.
front with the mark. It's pretty hard to reach over top and outmark Jessica Frankie, who's got a strong pair of hands. She went short into the back pocket. And it's brought out of defence there by Birch. And she's turned it over again to Harriet Cordner.
Yeah, Cordner will have another shot, another go at putting this deep inside the 50. Good kick too, really good kick going deep. No one cleared the initial pack. Clearing kick by Wild. Stout into open space here on centre wing. It's going to be a Demons ball. Sheriff to pick it up, but then being harassed as she tried to release the footy. Making Tunnable style, Martin Uzo has coughed it up. Now another chance for the Demons. Here's a chance in the pocket. No mark taken. Working hard there, Frankie. They've still got it here, the Demons. Phillips trying hard, can't get clear. Now a chance for the Bulldogs. They relieve the pressure temporarily, but there's a line of Demons here across half forward. And this ball from Poke going long inside the 50 is going to be turned over again. McMahon takes the mark.
So Nicole McMahon, tallest player out there at 186, went short and wide. And Wilds, who's been important, Chips it short again. Hunt. And another contested mark, Jolly. Very good in and under player is Sarah Jolly. Does a lot of work that you don't see. Her kick came back inboard as well. Long ball from Bailey up towards the wing, and it's off hands and over for a throw in. Well, suiting the Bulldogs just fine this. Just one behind has been kicked in this final quarter. They got it. They lead by 10 points. We're past the halfway mark of the final quarter. Can the Dogs hang in there? 2 players down, 10 points up. Darcy Guttridge, dispossessed. Lachlan outside of the boot towards half forward. Sheriff, been outstanding, kicks it back towards the wing. Running onto this will be Newman. And away she goes, Alicia Newman. Sizes up her options, chips it beautifully into the pocket for Zanka. Eden Zanka, can she find a target? Sets it up towards the pocket. Pack flies, no mark. Ferreted out of there by Jacobson. Trying to work her way through. Here's Newman. Flying shot from Alicia Newman. They're alive, Casey. Finally, they get their opportunity going forward. They finally had some free space, and it's now a 4-point ball game. First goal of the season for Alicia Newman. And what a fantastic handball it was from Maddie Shevlin, who comes off the ground here now. Just picked it up, one touch, quick handball out, and Newman equal to the task to really set us up for a big finish. So we've got less than 9 minutes to play. The Demons pressing. Bulldogs injured. Now another chance as they push forward here. Gutteridge up towards centre half forward. Just trying to find a way through, but the Bulldogs safe hands as they work their way out of defence. This game might start to open up just a little bit as this final quarter goes along. And all about hitting targets from here. What a great game Brooke Laughlin's played today. Will just go short. It's going to take some time. Hunter's got it. The kick had to be precise and was. Danuccio on centre wing. And the good part is it's eating up some time too. That kick not quite finding the target, but still plenty of numbers there. McLeod partially smothered. And it's going to be thrown in. Kayla Bent-Veltson putting her body on the line there to get the smother. So tightening up. There's got about 7 minutes left of game time in this one. Another goal the Bulldogs. You suspect that'll be enough for them. I reckon next goal wins here, Brendan, as the ball in dispute. Centre half back for the Demons. There's going to be a free kick. Which way is it going? It's going the way of the Bulldogs to throw. And Jolly to take it. 55 from goal. Laughlin's hobbling. Not sure which way to go. Decides to just go long into the pocket. Might be a bad option with Berry lurking. But no one can get clear of the contest, and the umpire says, give it to me. So under 7 minutes remaining, margin is 4 points. They could even be 3 down here, the Bulldogs too, with Kim Rennie doing run-throughs on the boundary line and not looking overly comfortable doing that either. So some worrying times as they try to hang on the Dogs. They need to get something out of this forward foray, but the kick has been booted away by the captain. That was Amy Harrison. On the footy. On the footy. Free kick to the Demons. And it's going to Casey Guttridge, who goes long to the wing. Out the back it goes. Clears the pack. Trying to run onto the football there was Cordner. Still the Dogs working hard, but it's the Demons who are gathering it forward. Strong tackle laid by Scott. Quick kick straight up in the air. We don't want any more rain here today. Scott had another go. Her kick was smothered. It's been 4 smothers in a row from the Casey defenders. And they're stopping the Bulldogs getting away and getting a shot at goal. Yep, so 6.5 minutes remaining in the game. Margin 4 points. Close one at Casey Fields. The ball just pinballing around. Now another opportunity for the Demons. Working through close quarters with McDonough, but it's near the line and it goes over and we'll have it thrown in.
Just need some sort of spark. Just need the play to open up. Find some space. Put the ball in deep for the Bulldogs. They just want to get down the other end of the ground and lock it away. In the final 5 minutes of the game. McMahon front position for the Bulldogs, but it's going forward for Casey. It's right near the line. It goes over. And the Demons will look to set themselves up. And looking deep forward. What's the forward option here? It's Strolart for the Demons. Number 49 was on the emergency list on Thursday when the teams were announced, as the ball is tossed back in. And now a chance. No, not getting the kick away. Was there a throw again? I think there might have been. Chance here for the Bulldogs to clear Birch to take it.
Libby Birch, known as a very good stopper in both competitions, kicks long to the wing. Running onto the football, there was Cordner, tackled immediately. And we get another stoppage, which is just fine for the Western Bulldogs. The ball is about 90 metres around, or 85 anyway, from the Casey goal. They need a couple of quick kicks forward. One down by McMahon for the Dogs. Strong tackle laid on Lachlan. Working towards the line and wrapped up again.
So 4 minutes remaining. Under 4 minutes now.
So the ball up in the shadows on the outer side of Casey Fields. Tap by McMahon, who's running onto this one. That is Smith, dispossessed, diving into the contest with courage there. Tatham arrived, good hand pass up. Orgel just got a kick away in time. Loose ball in the centre. Phillips tries to run onto the footballer. She got dispossessed, thrown off the football. Casey Guttridge got a hand pass out. Now they can go forward, the Demons, inside 50. Oh, good spoil coming from behind there for Casey. Little hand pass through. Casey Gardner. Here's Eden Zanker. Sets herself. Flying shot at goal across the face. And Zanker gets her behind. And the sigh from the crowd was as big as the sigh from the coach's box, I would reckon.
Yeah, I reckon so.
2 behinds for Eden Zanker. The margin is 3.
So got to be careful here, the Bulldogs. Going out of the back line. Wilds kicks to herself, has a couple of bounces, needs to be clean, and is. Frankie takes the mark at defensive 50. Going up to 2.5 minutes to play. Working her opponent under the ball is McLeod. Got to run onto an important contest. This one working with Tatham. And now laying the tackle. Tatham, they pile in on top. The umpire says, give it to me. 50-50 contest. It's gone up a gear. Desperate to try and get a win here. Casey, big moments for both of these teams. A win kick-start seasons.
I reckon if they're going to get one more chance, it will only be one, the Casey Demons, to steal it.
I agree. As we've got a free kick. Trailing umpire says it's going the Bulldogs' way. And if I'm Libby Birch, I'm taking as much time as possible to release the footy. 2 minutes remaining. Kick up the line. One more goal will do it for the Bulldogs. The next goal wins. If we do indeed get one, we'll see. They need to take it the length of the field. The Demons and Newman just trying to extract it, trying to get something going. The game has opened up ever so slightly, but it's in Bulldogs attacking territory. In from the ruck contest, Berry trying to push forward over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Clock continues to tick. 1.5 minutes to play.
So it's at the wrong end of the ground for the Casey Demons. They trail by 3 points. They've trailed all day. This is the closest they've been. Ball one down by Orgel. Picked up and hacked out of the contest there by Smith towards the middle of the ground. The sponsors' names here at Casey Fields. Martin Uzo was wrapped up as soon as she picked up the footy. We'll have another ball up and the clock continues to tick. 53 seconds left.
If you want to know why zones are important, it's for these moments here.
The forward players, if they can get a quick kick forward, there is someone there to take the mark. Breaking out of the contest. Here they go, Casey, an up and under kick towards half forward. Ball hits the ground, just thrown on the boot, up and under there from Bailey. Bouncing ball, quick kick from Lachlan, that's fantastic. Berry under pressure there from Lowison. Good work numbers with the Demons. Hand pass
seconds.
out Newman. Newman has a bounce, has to keep going through it on the outside of the boot. They need a mark. Sheriff picks up the bouncing ball. Here she goes. Snaps towards half forward. They need it again. No mark taken. They probably needed one there. They need a quick kick and a mark from
10
this
seconds.
ball up. And they're probably not going to get it.
Yep, I don't think so. Time ticking down. 3 seconds, 2, 1. It's going to be a Bulldogs win, I think. It is. They hang on in the end. They just got there. A gallant performance by the Demons. They pushed hard in that final turn, but they couldn't get the job done. 4-7-31 the Bulldogs. Final score 4-4-28. And they were depleted on the bench, the Bulldogs, but they stood tall and got the job done in the end.
See Ellie Blackburn making her way out in a full tracksuit. So she was injured just before half-time. Then they lost Nicole Paul, who was playing very well in defence, right on three-quarter time. And in the final quarter, Kimberly Rennie was off with a leg injury. So it's a really brave performance by the Western Bulldogs to hang on. They led all day and they held off a desperate surge from the Casey Demons right at the end.
Give us the goal kickers to full time.
Goal kickers for the Bulldogs, 2 to Kirsten McLeod and singles to Hayley Wilds and Brooke Loughlin. No goals to the in the second and fourth quarters for the Bulldogs. For Casey, 1 in each quarter. Kayla Bent-Beltson, Catherine Smith, Harriet Cordner and Alicia Newman right at the end. But it's the Bulldogs by 3 points.
Yep, and they get the job done in this match. And what an exciting game of footy it was in cool conditions, but at least the weather stayed dry for all the players out there. Well, that's about it for our coverage for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your work, Brendan.
Thanks very much, Peter. Great to be with you.
And a 3-point win to the Western Bulldogs over the Casey Demons. 4-7-31 to 4-4-28. And we look forward to your company next week. Make sure you keep an eye on VFL.com.au for the latest information in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's competition. Of course, download the free VFL and VFL Women's app. But until next week, thanks for joining us here on VFL.com.au. We'll see you soon.